10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
The music plays, the microphones go hot, and we are LIVE live on a beautiful yet somewhat overcast Sunday. 21st day of September, calendar year 2025. Welcome to Beyond Ringside Live, Rhyme Unintentional. From Studio 35, also referred to as Parts Unthinkable, about 5 blocks down from Parts Unknown and about 2 miles away from Parts Unmentionable. What up, Inhuman Fly? Long time no talk. Fast Eddie Layne behind the microphone this afternoon and on the control panel. Thank you for making us a part of your afternoon or evening or morning or whatever time of day you decide to listen. Whether it is through BeyondRingside.com, ProWrestlingRadio.net, Streama, their mobile app, and tune in their mobile app. So many other different ways, and we've got a new affiliate coming on board probably in the next week. Going to have a lot of information about that as situations prevail. You can find us at Beyond Ringside on X or Twix or whatever you like to call it this week. Thank you, Elon. And, of course, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live. Did I miss anything? Probably. Knowing me, it's in my contract. I get to screw something up every once in a while. You heard pre-show, and you'll hear it again during the first break. Welcoming in a new ally, so to speak, Nightmare 3008 up in Fultondale, Alabama. Voted 4 years in a row as the premier haunt here in the state of Alabama. Also located in the same area, same structure, same parking lot as Black Creek Tavern Mad Pies Pizza. So it makes it that much easier. So haunt season kicks off. It's going to be my favorite time of year all over again. And speaking of favorite times, get to welcome in and welcome back great friend, uber cool colleague, and one of the all-time best, the incomparable Mark MaBo Bowman. What's up, MaBo?
I done fell asleep during your damn opening.
You're not the only one, I'm pretty sure about that. How the hell are you doing, brother?
I don't want to talk about it.
Other than overworked, underpaid, and stretched too thin, right?
Well,
go figure.
I know that on certain evenings I could have a Dr. Pepper and I could probably have a great night.
Conceivable. Very conceivable.
No, I ain't trying to conceive with these swamp donkeys.
Inside joke there? Oh, hell yeah. A lot.
Not trying to get inside either.
That's why I said it's on the table. And it's going to stay there. Kind of like yesterday's biscuits. Sorry, I can only eat biscuits that have been out in the air for so long. If you put them under glass or put them in a Ziploc, you visit them in a little while. I have an air fryer that'll heat them up, and a little bit of butter, a little bit of honey, and I'm good to go. See you later. Bye. In all sincerity, a lot on the table. It's been a crazy weekend. Of course, WrestlePalooza yesterday, All Out this yesterday. Great showings on SmackDown, Impact, so many different shows. Going to touch on certain subjects throughout the course of the afternoon. But, lo and behold, something in the audience last night at WrestlePalooza got my attention, and it took me a few minutes to stop laughing. It was a person about 4 rows back who held up a sign saying, "I sold my house for these tickets." If Mark Shapiro from WWE, TKO, has his way, that may not be too far from the truth in the near future. MaBo, I know you have not had a chance to weigh in on Mr. Shapiro's brain food.
I don't even know who the hell that is.
TKO President COO who made the comment that WWE ticket prices will be going up again.
What does it matter? I mean, it just... I always thought that the death of the wrestling companies would be because they tried to outdo each other and in whatever you want to call this iteration of the Monday Night Wars. But it's not going to be that. It's going to be corporate greed. It's going to be corporate greed that drives away the fans, not just the casual fan, but the hardcore fans. If you don't believe me, how many of you actually got to watch, legally watch either the pay-per-view or the premium live event yesterday? And be honest, without an illegal streaming, how many of you paid for ESPN? And it's not ESPN Plus anymore. No, that would be too easy. That'd be those that could afford to keep it with your Disney and Hulu bundle. How many of you bought the other, because there is no more ESPN Plus. It's whatever the other ESPN app is. So now there's two different, and Eddie, you do your research if you want to. You can probably do it right now. There's two different ESPN apps that you have to now pay for if you want to watch both WWE and UFC. So, after how many years were they on Peacock there, Chief?
Shouldn't that have been right at 4.5?
Okay, and then how long did we have the WWE Network?
We had a few years before that.
Okay, so almost 10 years of paying under $20 and getting to watch the monthly pay-per-view / premium live events, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so now you literally want me to pay $30 a month to watch a WWE pay-per-view because I don't watch any other sports. There's nothing else on that app that I would watch. So why don't I just go back to finding a way of traditional, what is it you call it, Eddie, terrestrial television?
Affirmative.
To watch like we used to back in the day when you, instead of watching it scrambled or listening to it scrambled, why don't I just go back to paying $30 or $40 through a cable provider and watching it? Oh, wait, can't do that because those prices went up too.
Oh, hell yeah, they did.
So instead of me, Mr. Johnny Lunchpail here, I'm a wrestling fan, that's it. So I now have to go back to paying $30 to $40 a month to watch WWE premium live events. Okay.
Oh, we're back to pay-per-view now.
Right.
Screw that. We're back to pay-per-view.
It might as well. Okay, all right. So WWE, buy my shiny metal ass. Okay. Well, the other con, OTK, he could have used this as an opportunity to swoop in and garner that pay-per-view audience with a much cheaper price. Oh, no, wait, we can't do that because I was given the impression, and I don't know about you and I don't know anybody else who listens that, was given this impression, but did it not seem like the impression of being able to watch All Out, the first pay-per-view that's going to be on HBO Max, didn't it seem like you were given the impression that you would be able to watch it for free if you pay for HBO Max? Was that the impression you got?
Yep.
Was that what happened?
Nope.
Right. So let's see. Let's get our big old chalkboard of what the hell. Okay, so he already charges $50 a pay-per-view, and that's if you've got a cable provider or whatever. So you're getting HBO Max, which is included with a Disney bundle along with Hulu, which I have. All right. So, I can watch All Elite Wrestling now without technically having to have cable, which is fine. I watched their version of Collision, whatever the trailer park, tailgate, whatever they called it. That was fine. So let's see. Did I get to watch All Out? No. You know why I didn't get to watch All Out there, Eddie?
Because it's on a pay-per-view basis.
Right. They wanted you to pay $40. Now, look, and do me a favor real quick. If you have the ability to Eddie, can you look up and tell me what the average through a cable provider what the normal cost was for an AEW pay-per-view.
Anywhere between $39 and $49.
Okay, so I think it's normally $50. All right, and if it's $39, this is going to be even more ridiculous. So now that I pay for HBO Max, I mean, along with my Disney and my Hulu, or if I paid for it, because there was at one time I could have paid for it separately, it still would have been like $10, $15 a month. They had enough nerve to have Tony Schiavone shill that if you're an HBO Max subscriber, you could buy the pay-per-view for a low price of $39.99.
And if you go through PV.com yesterday, it was $49.95.
So it's an average, and I think that's how much it costs if you went through any of the other apps that they used at one point, like what was it, Triller or Bleacher Report or whatever.
And it was slated to be shown on Fubo yesterday, and it was $39.95 or $39.99 for that on there.
Okay, so it was $39.99 there. So do you want to? So I'm already paying for HBO Max, and now you're going to try to tell me that I'm getting a deal and I can watch it for $39.90. So I'm still paying technically $50 or more to watch what you guys insinuated was going to be a free pay-per-view.
Right.
Now, you already, pardon my language, you already pissed your panties and started moving times and dates and everything around because, the other con man and the schmucks at TKO Holding, or was it TKO Holding, decided to, try to snuff you out of business. Instead of being smart and having your pay-per-views now pretty much free on HBO Max and still drawing revenue from that, you're just going to double down on your punk assness and charge me. So now I've got two opportunities. There's two opportunities to watch two different companies and what they have to offer.
Right.
And now we're back. And now we're back to the old school days of paying $40 to $50 to watch it.
Yep.
In a world
where
we have all of this advanced technology.
Yep.
And where people can and probably did illegally stream it. I know for a fact on TikTok, I saw several just on my For You page, not anybody I follow, it's just my For You page. They're like, hey, tune in later on. We'll be watching. Now, some of them do watch-alongs, which I think watch-alongs are the stupidest thing in the world. I don't want to watch some fat neckbeard react to a freaking, Io Sky versus Stephanie Vagina or whatever how you pronounce her last name.
Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah, that too. I don't want to sit there and, watch his little, neckbeard jiggle as he goes,
I think, well, it's not fair because originally in Stardom when they first appeared, that they were opponents and they're, well, shut up, Cholesterol King, shut up. Like, I don't want to do a watch along. I'm not that desperate. Okay? That'd be like somebody watching an adult film and you watching their reaction. No. No. Yeah. It's always the ones built like pancakes. But anyway, so we got your corporate greed right there. Huh. Wonder if there's any other forms of corporate greed that have been announced recently. Can you think of anything, Eddie?
Oh, I can probably hit about 8 or 9, but I want to know the ones you think about.
Well, let's see.
I just led off with the ticket price thing again.
I think TKO, let's see, first of all, they decided, well, let's take WrestleMania away from, I believe it was New Orleans.
Yep, and move it back to Vegas.
And move it back to Vegas, which it was just at Vegas this year, correct?
Affirmative.
Okay, so let's take it from New Orleans, who we already pretty much locked in an agreement with. Let's take it back away from them. Now, Eddie, Eddie, correct me if I'm wrong, where does the majority of TKO's other little ducklings, what is their little sports project? Where does that primarily take place?
Might be that little lit up city in Nevada.
You mean Reno, where
No, not
Officer
Reno.
Jim Dangle, not Officer Jim Dangle?
No, where the Rat Pack used to run.
Oh, well, you got the rats part right now at this point. So,
Thank you.
Let's see. Vegas offered them more money to snatch it back away from New Orleans and put it in the home that primarily hosts UFC. That's dirty, but I guess it's okay. At least it's still in the United States. But they would never. You don't think TKO would ever just, I don't know, send it to a foreign country, would you?
Other than Canada, Mexico, or Puerto Rico? No, they'd never do that.
I mean, I know they always toyed with the idea of going to the UK, and that would be fine, you know. But you know, surely they wouldn't send it to some country where most foreigners are not welcome, would they?
$200 million later.
$250 million later.
You did read it.
No, I just heard everybody say that number enough on TikTok.
There you go.
So let's look at this. Let's step back and let's take a look in a book, Reading Rainbow. Let's look at the broader picture here. So in 2027, because they were paid $250 million. Now I don't know how much other cities paid for WrestleManias. I really don't. I'm sure, you know, Eddie's got the numbers somewhere. $250 million for, and is this going to be somebody actually brought up a good point though. Could they do a night 1 in Vegas and a night 2 in Saudi Arabia so they could at least still get one bite at the apple for the American dollar?
You did listen 2 weeks ago.
No. Trust me, I've got better things to do than listen to you, Boo Boo.
Thank you very much. You got it, Yogi.
But or did our little friends here, try not to say anything too mildly racist. So what happens when MaBo gets woken up, kids, after not getting enough sleep over the past 10 days? We are in Alabama. Hell, where's my cousin?
Well, you did miss one little thing about that whole story. Or are you going to come back to that?
I am not finished.
Keep going.
So, or do they get both nights? Because here's the thing. If they get both nights, you know, yeah, they're $250 million. First of all, you know, screw you because you're denying a city revenue. After they paid to have your little show, you're denying the city the revenue, and you're also, in my opinion, denying other companies their ability, because a lot of them probably make their bank during WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, I already got that figured.
With the other conventions and other, you know, shows, and that's usually where, I mean, let's be honest here, shows like Wally Mania or Wall-Eye Mania or Walcott Mania, whatever it is, where else can you see like stars from AEW, stars from WWE, stars from the independents, not wrestling so much, but hanging out, having fun? Same thing with I think it's GCW when they do Bloodsport.
Game Changer, yeah.
Yeah. They'll do Bloodsport.
Josh Barnett.
I mean, yeah, Josh Barnett. You know, it's where it's almost where friends get together, you know, to come together and have fun. And then you know, your average wrestling fan, yeah, they might say it would be the equivalent. I look at it as some people like wrestling fans, they save up all year, every 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever, to go to WrestleMania because, them tickets ain't cheap. Staying there ain't cheap. The trip out ain't cheap. I look at it as an equivalent to someone staying, they're saving up to go to, like Walt Disney World or like the whole Orlando area, or if they go to a cruise, or if they choose to go to Hawaii, stuff like that. Now you're expecting, you can say you're a global company and all this, that, and the other. You know what? Whatever. Don't BS a BSer, dude. You can say all that, but you're based in the U.S. You're a U.S.-based operation. Where the majority of your fans come from is the U.S. So now you expect them to save up money to fly to a foreign country who has very strict rules on letting foreigners in, and so you're going to deny them the ability to do that. I mean, it would have been a stretch for a lot of people because, like I said, I'm sure that people who come from Australia and Europe and even up from like Mexico, Central America, South America, those that come up for WrestleMania and WrestleMania weekend and Monday, Raw after Mania and all that stuff, I'm sure those guys save a butt ton of money to come up and do that. But how are they? I mean, you're talking like pretty much 3/4 of the world now. It's a lot easier to pop into the U.S. to watch, WrestleMania and then scoot back on home to funny talking land than it's going to be for the U.S. and pretty much anybody else to get into Saudi Arabia. And then let's look at that. How is it going to look? They always have all of these signings and breakfasts and meet and greets and Q&As and all this stuff. Like Undertaker usually has his one-man show, and so usually has a one-man show. All this. How is that going to go over? How is that going to go over, Eddie?
That is an ultimately good question.
Like a fart in church. It's going to go over like a fart in church.
And of course,
how do you think the women's matches are going to go over, Eddie?
Oh, that's already been because they're going to be covered basically neck to toe.
Yeah, they're going to be wearing their little scuba suits.
So
with the rhinestones on it.
As I said on a previous occasion, basically Streetwalker Barbie cannot have a wardrobe malfunction that day. That nipple pops out, it might get cut off.
Well, all I'm saying is they're sitting there and they're muting everything. I guarantee you the entrances will not be as grand. You're not going to have celebrities. You're not going to have celebrity musicians playing entrances. You're not going to have as big a deal as like stage, sets and everything. This $250 million was done out of pure greed, and honestly, something tells me something is going wrong. Something's not right. Like, why are they panicking all of a sudden and buying up AAA? Why are they panicking all of a sudden and getting in bed with TNA?
Oh, we know
it. Why are they panicking? Why are they panicking all of a sudden and now wanting to block anything AEW does? When before it wasn't a problem, but now, let's literally screw over Peacock, which I guarantee you Saudi money was played into that. I guarantee.
Oh no, that's Disney money, dude.
No, I don't think Disney had anything to do with that.
That's ESPN.
I think, yeah, but no. But to get out of the Peacock, how much money do you think they had to pay together Peacock?
Oh, that's probably.
Yeah, they still show Saturday Night's Main Event and NXT stuff.
See, here's the thing: when Peacock announced the price increase right after the WWE ESPN deal. WWE ESPN. There you go. Hey, it worked. It worked ECW too. Because remember, as soon as they made that announcement about such and such going to ESPN's direct member service, Peacock announced a price increase, and I'm going, yeah, nice main event ain't that damn important to me. Here's the scoop.
Exactly.
Here's the framework that I've put in play. And we have about 3 in the segment because I forgot to mention this earlier. Longtime friend of the family and colleague Josh O'Hagan supposed to be joining us in just a few minutes right here on Beyond Ringside Live. Short version of the story, and we can always pick this back up. 1, 2-night Mania, good idea. Have one night here in the lower 48 or somewhere international that is easily accessible by the populace. Number 2, I've put out the call. AEW, Game Changer, MLW, National Wrestling Alliance, all the mid-majors. And I don't include AEW as a mid-major. I include them as a major. Sorry, one of 2. Use a city like New Orleans that WWE has effed over and give the fans here in the lower 48 or even Canada or even Mexico City, Puerto Rico, somewhere that is accessible for the masses, and do an entire week from that city. You just did a residency at the ECW Arena, the 2300, and it went very well. But if you can combine forces, I'll go ahead and say this. Why not bring out WrestleCon? Why not get the rights to National Pro Wrestling Day? So many different things. You've got and one thing that you didn't mention that I did a couple of weeks ago when I went off on this rant. And it doesn't even hurt me to say this. Companies that have bigger exposure on the broadcast platform, such as Busted Open Radio, normally do a week of shows from that city during WrestleMania week. You think they're going to be able to do a week of shows from Saudi? I don't think so, Tim. I got about 90 seconds left in this segment. Mark, they're yours.
But yeah, that's what I don't understand. Is one, AEW had the perfect time to swoop in, and they're wanting to be money hungry. I mean, God forbid, just from what I saw last night, who's back? Like, when did Jungle Jack Parrott? When did he go back to being a face? Was it officially last night? I mean, I try to keep up with the results, but without having storyline context, I don't know who is what, when, where, why, and all that stuff. So, what the hell? I mean, Tony Khan and AEW has the perfect opportunity now to swoop in and leverage more of an advantage, and they can't.
Nope.
They can't because he's being greedy.
Greed kills, and I hate it when that happens. I really do. And in the end, it's all of us that continue to pay the price for it, plain and simple.
I ain't paying nothing no more. If I see I'm going to go back to like I used to. If I see somebody, if I happen to be awake, and I see somebody streaming illegally, I'll say it too. I don't care. Come find me. You're never going to find me where I'm at now. And if you do find me, you're not going to make it past the barbed wire fences. I don't care. I will illegally watch AEW. I don't care. I have a lot of people I love in AEW, and that I do know personally. I don't care if I screw over Tony Khan at this point. I'll watch it illegally.
Folks,
I'll screw over WWE. I'll watch it illegally. As Pepsi Phil would say, tell me when I'm telling lies.
Hang tight. Going to the first break. When we return, good friend of the family, and then some, Josh O'Hagan, right here on Beyond Ringside. Stay tuned.